My name is Vaughn Messina, and I'm going to give you a brief tutorial on performance sporting and our first app, Football Gradebook. With Football Gradebook, once you log in, you have your main screen. We're calling that your dashboard. As a user, you can use your Gmail, your Hotmail, any previous email accounts you have. And as you see, this will be your main screen. You can see your last game and then also your next game. You're going to pick which side of the ball you coach, offense or defense. If you've had grades entered throughout the season, you'll see your grades listed right there and for each game. As you scroll down a little more, it'll give your top performers for the 2019 season and then also your worst performers for the 2019 season as the season continues. Again, we have a lot of this data already entered in for our program for this demo. So, where do you go to get started on Football Gradebook? You're going to click Settings at the very top right. You're going to create your teams. Again, we have a few teams already created here for our program. Enter your team name, if you have a logo for your team, your conference, and then your contact email. And then you'll just simply click Create Team. You're going to add your seasons. Same thing. We already have one created. You're going to click the plus button at the top, enter the season name. Your staff, very similar process for you, many of you coaches that use Huddle. Enter their name, their contact email, which side of the ball they coach on, and what are they within the team, whether a user or an administrator. If you're adding a player, you'll see there you click whichever position they are. Players, again, we have some players already entered into our system. You'll enter the player's first and last name, their jersey number, their email. If you have a picture of them, you enter it there. And also a unique thing is you can enter their team rank, whether they're first string, second string, third string. You have to choose a primary position for each player. But then you can also see you can click multiple positions, whether they play offense or defense or they play both sides of the ball, and click wherever they are. Create player and it sends them an email. Once you go to your games, same process. You can scroll down and see our season. You're going to add your game. You can add your opponent. If the game's already been played, you enter your score and your opponent's score, date and time, and location. And simply hit Create Game. Position groups. Again, you'll completely define all your position groups. And this is where Football Gradebook gets very unique. If I click defensive backs, I'm going to define the group, position group name. The description simply is defensive backs. They're active, which side of the ball they're on defense. And then I get to choose how I grade. Right now our base categories are assignment, technique, and production. But if I want to change any of those, I simply highlight them and call it whatever I want. For this instance, I'll just call it alignment. I'll change technique to production. And I'll delete the third category. You can grade on 3 categories, 2 categories, or 1 category. Down at the bottom, we've placed numerical values. You have 5 numerical values on how you grade. I grade on a 1 or 0 scale. So I'm going to delete all the others and then just have a 1 or 0 on each category. If you want to grade on plus minus, you simply change the buttons to plus or minus. Create position or create update position group, and boom, you are grading. Again, you can choose your positions and your position names, define it however you want. Everything is completely customizable. A very unique feature of Football Gradebook is creating what we call production points. Bad footwork, bad eyes, good hands, whatever you would like to call it, you can create it in here. You simply add with the plus button, call it whatever you would like. For here, and call it bad eyes. You give it a description if you would like. Make sure you click active. Give it a value of a 1 or a -1, and we'll get into that in a minute. And then you can click whichever position group. It could be the entire team or just your unique position, offense or defense, however you would like to break it down. Simply add production points. So, going down, once you've got all this information in, you can enter your plays a couple different ways. You can do it manually, or you can actually import the plays for a game. Here, you already have your data through Huddle or DV Sport or Exos. You create an Excel file, and then you just simply browse and import your file into Football Gradebook. So you have all your information in, and you're ready to grade. Click the game, and then you're going to scroll down to which side of the ball you coach, and click Grade Players. So here again, we already have players and our plays in. I'm going to click Troy Reddick, click his position. As I'm watching the plays, I simply click his grades, and there in the red and the black indicates the good production points and the bad. So that's where you define the 1 or the 0 on the production points. Click Save, and then move on to the next player. And you go through your whole game just like this. Simply click and go. Up at the top, if you're an offensive guy, you'll have all your positions. I have access to every position group. Unless you're an administrator, you only have access to your own position group. So what do you get from this? Instant reports. Here again, we have an entire 2019 summary report of all our players that were graded. You see the number of plays, their assignment, technique, and production. Again, that was just how we graded at this time. And then it spits out their overall grades. These were the only 2 position groups that were graded. You can also get a detailed position report where each individual player gets their own grades. They see their plays, their assignment, their technique, and production. And at the bottom of this chart is all their production points added up. I hope you enjoyed this brief tutorial of Football Gradebook, and we look forward to you being a customer.